Hello, nice to meet you. This is Dr. Kim from Richgo. Hello, this is Kim Ki-wan from Richgo. Recently, we have been recruiting students through YouTube. It seems that auction academies engaging in joint investments are on the rise. Oh, really?
Yes, joint investment in auctions.
In fact, joint investment is good, but it is being misused. After gathering people together, there are issues like having non-existent items or embezzling money behind the scenes, or actually conducting auctions inappropriately. These seem to be ongoing problems.
And while we're talking, have our subscribers installed the Richgo app on their phones? The Richgo app has all the auctions as well. So, if there are those who haven't installed the Richgo app, it would be great if you could do so. Now, as I mentioned about the auctions, I mentioned that a tremendous opportunity is approaching through auctions.
Auctions are soon coming up.
They are continuously coming up, and as you can see here, the number of new auction applications this year is expected to be the highest since the financial crisis. So, there are a lot of auctions. And from January to June, there are currently 50,000 auction items. This is the highest in 3 years. Because of this, it seems that people are very interested in auctions. I also talk about how good auctions are. But the problem is, these days, there are a lot of YouTube videos. And since many people can see this, it completely lures them in and makes them fall for it. So, such scams are increasing significantly. Therefore, while watching this video, you must absolutely be careful of things like YouTube auctions or academy auctions that involve joint investments and scams. There are so many of these, so you really need to be cautious.
In the past, there were quite a few auction scams offline. As you mentioned, these days, after securing a pen through YouTube, they create VIP groups and lead auction academies. And it seems to be thriving a lot.
So, if you look at this, it is said that scams are rapidly increasing where auction academies use YouTube to recruit students and then lure them into real estate investments to extort money. So, what do they say after watching these videos made by auction academies and taking the lectures? Opportunities come to those who take action. This is often said by many real estate experts.
They use provocative language. It's today or never.
When are you going to stop being inactive with your money? That's why you're not making any money. Move quickly. They often say things like this. And what else? You need to learn auctions properly to avoid being deceived and to make money. What do you think?
That's true, but...
That's absolutely true. They promote with very provocative titles. They advertise that there is an incredible opportunity for a windfall. And if you watch the YouTube channel and register, they give you a discount on the tuition fee, or... So people get tempted by that. I brought an example. Could you share an example?
The first case is that if you leave your money with us for just 1 year, you won't have to worry at all, and we will multiply it several times and give you 25% of the profits. However, in reality, there was a case where they couldn't distribute any profits at all.
Is this even reasonable? Please entrust your money to me. You won't have to worry at all. I'll make it grow for you. What is the sweetest phrase in this world? Earning money without any effort. And big money, how sweet it is. So, what is the reason people fall for things like coins, multi-level marketing, and real estate? They are enjoying a windfall. It's an easy investment. But what is this? They invested 72 million won per person in a commercial property in the Busan area, and there are 60 people. 60 people. Then 60 times 72 million is over 4 billion won, right? But what is it? The commercial property isn't selling. So, they couldn't distribute any profits at all. At least this is what, it's a real investment, so it's somewhat better, but you really need to be careful with auctions. So, what have I repeatedly said? The most important thing in real estate investment is not to make a profit, but to buy real estate that can be sold well later. Now there is a second case, but what will this one be about?
They are getting people who watch this on YouTube to register for auction school and are telling them to invest in an undeveloped island, in a planned development area. In an undeveloped island? Yes, they encouraged investment in an undeveloped island, but it turned out there were no plans at all, and all the collaboration with related agencies was fake information. So this kind of thing is really good.
So, let's first get them into the auction school. Have them take the course. Then, after some plausible talk, say that there is a planned development here. Let's invest in the undeveloped island. And if we build a waste recycling power plant here, we could make 10 billion won a year. Is it tempting or not?
It is tempting, but the unfortunate thing is that individuals should have checked whether there was an actual development plan.
Incheon City has now prepared 13.6 billion won. The Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries is also on standby.
At this scale, verification is actually possible. It is possible.
So, how much is it per person for the 103 students?
60 million won.
Oh my god. How much is this? It's over 6 billion won. This money has been deposited as an investment to the academy. Sigh, I can't help but let out a deep sigh. There are no development plans at all, and the collaboration with related agencies is false. This is a bad investment. This is something that can happen. What is this? It's fraud. Fraud. So, when you look at it, there are really many things that can easily catch your attention. And there are several typical types of auction fraud. So, while watching this video, please make sure to understand how people commit these frauds and absolutely do not fall for such false information, fake information, or fraudulent information. I mean, 60 million won per person, right? No, how much money is this? For someone, it could really be money that affects their entire life. So, I really hope that these malicious fraudsters are punished very severely. The first thing is providing false information. False information, that is, false information about the value or condition of real estate. So please take a look at the Richgo app, because when you enter the Richgo app, it has all the properties and even auctions. And it even has the AI estimated prices for land and buildings. So you can know exactly how much they are worth. So please, do not be swayed by things like this, thinking that you can hit the jackpot. Right. Now, what else? They forge documents. They also forge identification cards. They have to forge important documents like property registration and appraisals. For example, they bring forged IDs or property registration documents. When you see this, do you believe it or not? You believe it, right? But it means that they can even forge such documents. So, what should we do? I need to check it myself. Next, there is bid manipulation. In the auction process, the perpetrator colludes with other participants to manipulate the bid price, leading the victim to win at a high price. They try to induce this as much as possible.
But now, as I call out the types, it seems like there's no way to avoid being deceived. If they are determined to deceive, how can one not fall for it? They deceive to this extent.
So you have to be careful. There are too many cases of bid manipulation, especially look at those who provide auction consulting. Usually, in auction consulting, you only make money if you win the bid. You have to win the bid, but to win the bid, should you write a high bid or a low bid? You should write a high bid. You should write a high bid, but let's say you wrote a high bid. For example, let's say there's something worth 1.3 billion, but it was 1 at 1 billion. At 1 billion, but I'm the only one. Do you feel good? Not good. It could be good or not good. What happens is that the dealers attach one person as a ringer. So I won the bid at 1 billion, but the second place bid was 990 million. Then I won the bid by a difference of 10 million. So, do you feel good or not? Then you feel good. You feel really good. So you feel good. Then do you want to pay for the consulting fee or not? So they are colluding. So there is a client, and I provide consulting. Client, I've thought a lot about how much to bid, and I think 1 billion would be good. But could this person be a bit high? But since it's a sole bid, from the client's perspective, they might think they could have gotten it cheaper.
It might be confusing if it's done well or not.
I have this thought, but if we involve a contractor here, colluding, spending 990 million, how do we explain it? Oh, how well have I analyzed this client? You have won the bid at exactly 1 billion with a difference of 10 million. Congratulations. Please deposit the consulting fee. Is that okay? Not okay. And is there a problem with this? Does the client know? No, they don't know. They don't know, right? And is there a legal issue with this? No, there isn't. There isn't a problem, right? So, there are so many such cases. This bid adjustment is a really serious issue. There are a lot of them, everyone. That's why you really need to be careful.
Is there a way to know about manipulating this bid?
No, right. How can you know if they are colluding?
There is no way to know.
So, we should work with trustworthy places. And just for reference, I think I will probably start a business in this auction area next year. So, we are really data-driven. Based on data, we will probably conduct these auctions and consultations transparently without being deceived. Once this starts to take shape, I will explain. Can I be trusted? What about Richgo? If you can't trust Richgo, then what can I really do? Also, there are many that guarantee false profits. So, you saw the high profits earlier, right? Earning 10 billion a year. If this happens, what does that mean? The investment will be well recruited. Why? The illusion of making easy money that everyone desires. But what happens? In reality, there are no profits or there are losses. I really hope people at least consult about this. So, next year, I will create a system where I can consult with real estate experts whom I truly trust. So please, before doing something with a large amount of money, consult someone reliable. If you at least consult with experts, you won't lose several tens of millions or even hundreds of millions of won. But being stingy about spending a few $100,000 on consultations is really unreasonable. You should never hesitate to spend that kind of money. Now, what else is there? They manipulate their credibility. So, they either run famous real estate auction schools or academies, or they use celebrities to enhance their credibility.
In fact, auctions are a method that is difficult for the general public or beginners to access, so many people go to academies or study by watching YouTubers, seeking help as you mentioned. That's right. They are getting scammed by those two.
So they are intentionally scheming to scam. They have set the stage, specifically to deceive.
So as you can see here, it is said that joint investments are quite prevalent. How does it work?
First, they use star instructors and success stories to entice students. Then, they recruit through academies or cafes. They promote membership-based first-come, first-served joint investments, and then establish anonymous partnerships. So, they limit the sharing of information such as profitability. They also avoid confirming losses due to delays in sales. As you can see here, they post success stories on YouTube channels and recruit people, and then if they naturally take classes at the academy, what do they encourage? They encourage joint investments. Joint investments, it's great, right? If I make a joint investment, I don't have to do anything, right? The experts do everything for me. It's thrilling. So, what happens then? They receive the investment funds and tell you to wait. Yes. So this is really very frightening.
In fact, the representative is also running a YouTube channel and managing a VIP membership, right? I can't say that this is necessarily bad, but because some people misuse it, those who have good intentions also seem to get criticized a bit.
That can happen. So, I have been studying real estate a lot, and it's been really overwhelming for me. I didn't like that. So I sold real estate based on data. Right. So, everything is based on data, which means it can't be deceived. So, in a real estate market where scams are rampant, I really wish there was something trustworthy, even if it's not necessarily rich. Data. So, there is a checklist for real estate. Investment called Don't Ask. First, can you investigate the profitability of the real estate? Therefore, you need to directly investigate and confirm the profitability of the real estate you are investing in, its location, and how much you can sell it for. It's not about those people. This can be exaggerated in any way. Next, has the performance and process of previous investments been disclosed? So, if you say you can make money from joint investment, then, okay, please show me the results of any previous joint investments you have conducted. So, you must closely examine not only the profits and losses, but also whether the investment process has been properly shared. Now be careful, because this is a marketing method that encourages auction beginners to jump in without verification. Therefore, the larger the property and the more investors there are, the harder it is to handle the investment individually, taking a lot of time and cost for decision making. That's right. Yes. Next, is there an exit strategy? These days, the real estate market is really not good, right? Depending on this, I need to consider whether I can sell this later. Earlier, there was a case about a commercial property in Busan. It was done with good intentions and was probably won at a low bid. But what happens? Since it doesn't sell, the exit isn't possible, so winning the bid isn't a scam, right? But since you can't exit, the money gets completely tied up. On top of that, with the current decline in self-employment, the commercial properties are in complete disarray. Therefore, you must ensure that there is a proper exit strategy in place.
Generally, in typical auction investments, what weaknesses might there be in the format of joint investments that are continuously being conducted?